Alright guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we will just be looking at the mini projects I have for you, right? So let's explore it without wasting time at all. So in this case, alright guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we will be looking at the mini project. So far you've learned you've learned to use Matplotlib, you've learned to use Seaborn, you've learned to use the Plotly, right? So it's high time, like, one thing, if this is not the first time you've been following this channel, you know that one thing that is strongly emphasized on is the application of whatever you learn, right? That is how to know you truly know it. The brain does some trick when you're learning, when you're taking in knowledge, when you're consuming it, as it were. Your brain somehow tells you, it gives you this chemical reaction that makes you feel so happy that you're knowing this thing, you're getting better at it, but that is not true. The only way to test, and that's why schools have exams and all of that, that's why we have theory, there are practicals, we have hands-on and all of those things. So the only way you can actually know if you know something is when you can do it without phrasing, right? So just taking in the knowledge does not necessarily mean you now know it. So that is why it's important to apply what you know. So let's jump into what we want to have here. There will be a link to this particular notebook in the description below, so you can come to this notebook directly and do your exercises there, or you can just create a copy, whatever it is, add cells between each task. So each task is isolated, you can see, with some strict restrictions, so you can add whatever it is you want to do. But let's just quickly do a review of it. So you'll be working on a data set called the Data Co Smart Supply Chain, and by clicking here it will take you to the link where you can download this data set on Kaggle. Kaggle is a place where you can download public data sets. You have to sign up to be able to download data sets from there, by the way. All right. So, or you can, if you can also find a way to just read it instead of downloading, like we did with the Titanic data set. If you can't, just find a way, download it. It's easy to navigate. This will take you to the direct link, and your download should be on this side. When you get to Kaggle, okay, you should be able to download it right there. Let me see. Let's open it and see what it looks like. So it's saying you're trying, yeah, I know, just go. So let's see what it looks like for us. So you can see that once you click it, it brings you to the direct link on it. So while it's loading, let's continue. So once it's done loading, we'll go back to check it out. So you want to use all of the visualization we've learned so far, right? So the intention of this challenge is to force you to map core pipelines. I combined the grammar very well. Core pipelines variables into 3 separate packages: the Matplotlib static precision, Seaborn statistical tendency, and Plotly interactive dashboard rigidity. And like I said, PS. All right. So these are the objectives, and the first task right here, of course, you still go over it yourself, is to do a corporate margin breakdown. Here you're using Matplotlib, so it slices your data to process order for the top 5 most profitable category. Now all of these things will make sense when you see the data set. So this is the data set itself. Now you can see, if I click on the download, for example, now see other ways it says you can use to grab this data set. So you might not necessarily download it, right? You might not necessarily download it, so you can just use this and use it with Python. Or if you want to download it, you can see 27 MB. Let's assume I click on that to take me to the login page, because I need to log in before I can do that. So you see, it will require you to log in. So I'll just go back. So just log or sign up. If you have not signed up before, this is a good time to sign up on Kaggle, and you can always get the data set. So you can explore the data set here. You can see we have types. Let's just look at columns. So you can see individual columns, days for shipping, days for schedule, benefits per order. You can see as much as you want. You can see it's quite a good data set to use, but this is the one you're using. The supply chain. Okay, the supply chain is what you're using. You can check other ones if you need support to what you're doing so far. You can see the columns right there. You have them all in there. So back to where we are. So you slice the data set for the 5 top most profitable category. Of course, you do some feature engineering at some points in these stacks. It is a full-blown project. So I want you to take your time, go over it line by line, apply what you've learned so far, pandas, numpy, everything, every line of the way. When you're done with that, you have a data set slice, then you do a dual axis or a combo chart, right? A combo chart. See your y axis, which is your left axis, has been specified, your right axis has also been specified, and there are strict customization requirements. Follow them strictly. Now, like I said, the exercise was drafted carefully, right, for you to learn what you need to learn and apply what you need to apply. So do not bypass it, okay? And that's why you'll be getting access to this notebook directly. Do not bypass it. Make sure you go over it line by line. All right. So the next thing is we have the second tax, which you'll be using Seaborn for. How many do we have? Is it 5 or 3? You see, just 3 tax, right? Just 3. So the second one you'll be using Seaborn for, and you have a data slice for the days, the shipping days and schedule days, and the deliverables is basically that you create a new feature, which is fulfillment gap. The difference between the shipping day, the date was scheduled, and the date was actually shipped. Then you plot a distribution, right? You want to show the distribution for the different shipping modes. That's the next thing. See some customization as well. Very important you follow them. We have done all of this before. We've covered all of this in Seaborn. And finally, the third tax, you can see. So you can add your code cells between here like this. For example, I can add a code cell to start answering questions, or you can add them here. So they're in different sections like that, not in a giant single cell. Okay. So for the third one, we have the interactive regional high risk or risk hierarchy. I mean, so you have your data set as well. You want to do some deeper dive, right? You generate a tree map. There's a lot of English going on there. So you generate a tree map highlighting regional inefficiencies. This should be your hierarchical path. So your value mappings, your continuous scale, and of course you have to follow this as well. So I wish you all the best in this particular project. Like I said again, the link to get this data set, to get this notebook will be in the description below. So do well to check it out when you're done. The link for the Telegram channel is also in the description below. Click in there, drop the link to your own notebook there for review, and then you keep moving like that. You share your work with others, you get some encouragement, you learn from them, they make some corrections, and you all grow together. So for that and more, keep practicing, and